I am so happy you're here, and apparently my bird is so happy as well that if you can't hear, she's making sounds. She'll probably join in a minute. I want to talk to you about something that is actually really important. And if you notice my poor lemon tree, there's a door right there on this side and a heat register on this side, and apparently the yin and yang don't go together too well when you're a lemon tree. But that's okay because it's almost spring and my awesome lemon tree will be going outside, and it's not the first time this has happened, to be honest with you. I'm going to put it in the greenhouse and things will be good again. See, I told you, Pocket's concerned too. Or at least Pocket is like, hey, let me join in. I have been keeping a very dedicated practice of doing art every single day for the past 6 months. And it actually might be longer than that, but 6 months for sure that I know of. And in that time, I have learned more than I can even, or maybe Pocket could explain it better than me, but more than I can even put into words. I can't get over the growth that I have found as a result of being dedicated to this practice. It has not just filled up sketchbooks and, painted over that blank whiteness of canvas. It has enriched my life in ways that I would never have really been able to imagine before all of that. And let's talk about that for a minute. I know some of you, maybe you don't keep a sketchbook, maybe you don't do art every day, maybe, you want to do it, or maybe you think to yourself, well, I don't know what I'm going to do every day. How could I do something every day? It's not actually that hard, people. What you need to do, and maybe the hardest part of it all, is the actual dedication to it. And that's what I think that a lot of people find the most daunting. You might tell yourself that you're afraid of that blank page. Or maybe you tell yourself that you can't come up with ideas. Or maybe you tell yourself I don't know. There's lots of excuses. Let's be honest, we are terrible with the excuses. We find excuses for everything in this life. And making excuses, it's the difference between people that get things done and people that do awesome stuff and people that, think about it or wish they had. And I'm going to tell you something. And I'm not saying this to be a bummer. I'm not saying this to, give you a bit of an existential thing. But life is short. Life is like books on a bookshelf, and there's bookends there, and there's the story of your birth, and the story of your childhood, and the story of your teenage years, and so on and so on and so on. But really, none of us are Yoda. We don't live for 1,000 years almost. At most, if we're lucky, knock on wood, maybe we can get 120 years in. And we can be healthy that entire time and dancing the mamba or whatever, tangoing in the old folks' home. I don't know. That made a lot more sense in my head before it came out. I don't even know what the mamba is. Is that a dance or is that a snake? I know the tango is a dance though, so maybe dancing the tango. But what we do in that time period, that makes the biggest difference. And what I have found over the past 6 months is that the time that I have spent creating art, a lot of those days has been the best part of my day. And that's not to say I don't have, a good day. That it's just that it is however long it takes, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever it is that you spend doing that, it's you time. It's you time that you're spending in a non-judgmental way. It's you time that you're spending taking nothing and creating something. And like I've said before, there is a crazy magic to that. It is really an alchemical process where you're getting something better than gold out of virtually nothing. And you cannot tell me that that doesn't have huge impacts on your mental health, on your, expression of yourself, and how you feel about yourself. When you look back on, say you're doing a sketchbook, when you look back on these pages, you are going to be blown away. I can guarantee it. You're going to think yourself a genius. You're going to tell yourself, wow, man, I'm actually a pretty creative, awesome person. And even more, over that 6 months, you're going to fill a lot of sketchbooks. You're going to do a lot of paintings. You're going to do a lot of drawings. You're going to create some very cool stuff that when you look back at it, you're going to be like, holy smokes, that's what my stuff looked like back then, and look what it looks like now. And it shouldn't be a surprise. If you decide that you're going to learn to play the harmonica and you go from 0, I can guarantee that 6 months later, you're going to be a hero, a harmonica hero. You're going to drive the cats crazy. The dogs are going to howl. Maybe they'll sing with you, but you're going to be pretty decent, especially compared to where you were at day 1. Now, if you already have some artistic skill, but you haven't been flexing that muscle, imagine where you can go in 6 months. What I have found out is what I thought was my art is not my thing. What I have found out is my art is a lot more. Before I dedicated myself to doing art every single day, I had this view of myself artistically that, this is my kind of thing, or that is my kind of thing. And it's the result of all the stuff that I did before sporadically. But sticking to that dedication of every day you're doing something, I learned a whole lot more. Now, don't think it's always going to be easy. Nowadays, we all are time crunched. There's going to be days where you're going to be like, I don't have much time. And you may think to yourself, I'm going to blow today off. Nobody's watching anyways. But don't do it. Even if you spend just a few minutes putting some lines on that page, or taking your paintbrush and throwing some color around, and then going, you know what? I have a few more minutes. I can do something else there. You're going to end up, I can guarantee it, with something really cool that later you're going to go, oh, I didn't have much time, but I'm really glad I did that. You're going to find out about the inner workings of you. And you are going to express yourself in wonderful ways that you didn't know were possible. So, what I'm going to suggest to you is that you start today if you haven't yet. Join me on Instagram and show me the stuff you do. Or, give us a link in the comments and show us what you can do. Because you know what? At the end of the day, what art is you expressing what it means to be a human being right now as you. And you know what? Don't judge it. Just go with it. It's kind of like surfing. You hop up on that board and you ride that wave and you're laughing, you're having fun, the sun is shining, dolphins are jumping over top of you. everybody's waving and going, whoa, look at that awesome surfer, maybe. And it's fantastic. What I think that you will find if you trust me, and there's no reason why you shouldn't, if you trust me on this and you mindfully create and you learn to enjoy the moment that you're in and you learn to let your creativity just be, and you learn to breathe and you learn to compassionately not judge yourself, and even better, you learn to develop and cultivate compassion for yourself first and then all other things, your life is going to change for the best. Your life is going to change in ways that you do not even realize today. So what you're going to do is you're going to find an awesome tool of creation. You're going to find a sketchbook or a pad of paper or whatever it is that turns your crank, and you're going to get to it and you're going to fill that thing, and you're going to love every moment for it, and you're going to look back and think, that video by that guy with the hair that stands up for some reason, he was right on the mark, and I am so glad that I did that, and it made all the difference. Thanks for sticking by. Thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of other videos to watch. Check them out. Like, share, subscribe. Tell all your friends and frenemies. I'd love to see more subscribers and more videos watched. And I'd love to see more art created and more people living awesome lives. More people singing like the bird. And just living a better life and loving every minute of it. Until I see you next time, keep being awesome, keep smiling, and get creating. Thanks a lot.